Darkwing Duck! Hello, everyone. I am Krooked, and this is Unscripted, where I take a completely unscripted look at a game and I give it a 1 through 10 rating and let you know if it's something that you should play or not. So if you're watching this, what that means is I am in Walt Disney World. And that means you get to enjoy all the fun of Disney while I'm in Disney. I'm going to go through a few generations, though. I'm not just going to be playing, like one generation. I'm going to go Nintendo, Super Nintendo, so on and so forth, for the episodes that you get. So expect a lot of episodes in the next few days. So Darkwing Duck. Anyone who doesn't know, this is Disney's Batman. In the 90s, there was the Disney Afternoon Collection. And in the Disney Afternoon Collection, there were a few shows, very, very well-known shows, such as Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, and DuckTales. DuckTales. I was like, did I say DuckTales or Darkwing Duck? And of all of them, my favorite was always Darkwing Duck. It's this nerdy dude who is like an accountant by day, basically, and then at night he and his adopted niece, or maybe not adopted in the actual show, I think it's actually in the first show, it's like his friend professor who makes all the stuff's daughter, Goslin, and his sidekick Launchpad McQuack from DuckTales solve crimes like Batman. And in, the 90s, they said, hey, let's make cartoons, or let's make video games out of all these cartoons, because kids love them, and they did really, really well. So what happens is you get these games that were all created by Capcom that are just fantastic, and, one thing leads to another. So you get Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck specifically, though, ends up holding a special place in my heart, and the reason why is I didn't have a bunch of NES games when I was a kid. This is one of them that I had. And a few years ago, I learned that Jim Cummings, the voice of Darkwing Duck, was going to be at a convention nearby, and I wasn't able to go, but one of my friends was. And he got me a signed copy of Darkwing Duck. My copy of Darkwing Duck, but signed. Now, a lot of people are like, okay, it's a signed game, but I actually have the only one in existence, according to the voice of Darkwing, that's signed. So, just a little cool trivia for anyone watching who happens to like Darkwing Duck. So, all that being said, let's get into what this game is about. I'm sure you've seen by now that there's a lot of stuff that reminds you of other games here. If I had to put a finger on what game it reminds you of, it's one called Mega Man. Because, well, Darkwing Duck is basically Mega Man. Awesome game, though. I love every bit of it. It's just as fun as a Mega Man game. Probably has a bit more of the challenge because, you're like, oh, what are the weaknesses of these things? And it's not exactly like you defeat them, you get a weakness, like it is in Mega Man. You have to kind of know what you're doing. You get 4 hits, that doesn't ever go up, and you get a number of lives. It seems like what I just did was really, really easy, and it is if you know how to do it, but if you don't know to do it, you're going to get screwed hard. I've just played this level many, many, many times. Overall, so you have, these 3 levels, and then after you beat these levels, there's a whole nother set of levels that you have to go through. And there's final boss, just like any other Mega Man game. And overall, this plays like a Mega Man game. So, with that being said, if you like Mega Man, you know what to expect. And you're not going to be disappointed at all because, well, having played all the Mega Man games, which I should actually do a full review on all of them for you guys, I would probably say out of all the Mega Man games, this is the best Mega Man game. On the NES anyway. I know that's going to make people angry, but the reality is, Mega Man games have not aged fantastically. I'll say it. But this has aged pretty well. There's a lot of moments where it's like, oh man, that feels cheap, but it's pretty easy to avoid all this. I'm just kind of rushing through everything. The sound, it sounds fantastic. It's a Capcom game from the early 90s. It sounds exactly how it needs to sound to get every point across. The timing is perfect for the sounds. It has a bunch of Darkwing Duck references with the sound. The intro plays the Darkwing Duck theme. Disney knocked it out of the park with this one. Capcom really knocked it out of the park with this one because I don't know how much involvement Disney had other than make our game. And that's that, you know. Graphics-wise, you can tell exactly what's going on. It has very clear indication versus what's the background, what's the foreground. There's so much good in this game. It's remarkable that this hasn't gotten more attention or anything else. There was apparently a sequel in Japan, but it never came out here, ever. And I don't think the sequel was made by Capcom, so it wasn't as well loved, and it didn't get as much good reception. Or if it did, it was weird. But man, is this a good game! And the sound's great. If you're a fan of Darkwing Duck at all, you need to check this out because this is the only Darkwing Duck video game. Especially because if you watch the new DuckTales, Darkwing Duck is in it. And it's just a great time. So sound is great, controls are great, everything is like Mega Man, but good. And that's why with this is a game that's really, really easy to give a solid 9 out of. If you're wondering why I'm not giving it a 10, it's because there are some really cheap moments in this game that you'll see later on that I'm probably not going to get to in this. And overall, if you don't like Mega Man platforming, running into things, you're going to hate this, because that's really all this is. But, again, in terms of a Mega Man, this is the best Mega Man game there is, and it's so good that you really do need to do a service to yourself and play it if you haven't. So yeah, that's it. Darkwing Duck, solid 9 out of 10. And yeah, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what games you want to see me play. Or let me know what your favorite thing in Disney World is. Because, you know, hey. Other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, so that way you never miss out on another Unscripted. And I will see you tomorrow with another Disney game. Bye!